might have heard of RAG before, and it stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it's a way to give AI agents a brain and a knowledge base of any specific thing that you want them to know about. This is a feature that has become necessary if you want to build AI agents that are actually useful. And so today I want to show you how you can quickly set up a RAG agent that can be used for customer support and can answer any question that you may have in your website, or if you're offering to a business, that business's website. So this is what the whole workflow looks like in the agent. But before that, we need to go over some important concepts. I would quickly want to give you guys an overview of what RAG is and how it works. So RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, as I mentioned before. And basically what it does is it grabs a bunch of documents which can be in different formats. As for example, here I have a PDF or a text or even an image that can be uploaded into a vector store or a vector database. A vector database is a database that is able to hold this information in different chunks. So for example, if I go and zoom in here, in this example, we have a vector store. And if you take a look, concepts that are related to each other are stored together. So for example, here we have animals and they're stored together. And over here we have fruits. Pretty simple, but it's important to understand the process in getting these documents into a vector store because it can be a little bit confusing and technical, but we'll make it very simple. In our case, we're going to be using a text file, and the process is as follows. We are going to grab that text file and then we're going to split it into different chunks. Chunks, it just means different segments of the document, and you're able to customize the length of your chunks. So for example, it can be a chunks of 500 words or just 100 words. Then once it's separated into chunks, we need to embed it using an embedding model. And what this really means is just converting it into a format that can be stored into a vector store. So for example, OpenAI has its own embedding model, which I think is the one that we're going to be using. And then once it's embedded, it's going to be uploaded into the vector store. So to quickly show you how we're going to do this today, I'm going to be using an example of a company, just a random company that I found on the internet. I'm going to go ahead and grab the information from the website and create an agent that's going to be a customer support agent. And the idea is that it's going to be able to answer any question that might have an answer in the website. And for that, we're going to be using Firecrawl. And this is just the first step, which means we're going to be scraping the website. Firecrawl is a very good tool in order to scrape websites. What we're going to be doing is that we're going to be crawling it. And what that really means is scraping every single URL inside a website. So let's say you have your homepage, you have your about page, you have your support page, everything's going to be scraped. And the cool thing about Firecrawl is that it puts it into Markdown, which, as I mentioned before, it's just a better format for LLMs to understand information. So for that, we're going to be doing that through their UI. And then we're going to be creating an automation that's going to be used to import those documents into Google Drive. Then we can go ahead and upload those documents into Supabase. Supabase is going to be our vector store. And there are multiple other vector stores such as Vectorize or Pinecone. I just chose Supabase because they have a free version and it's not too complicated to set up. And after that, we're going to create a separate automation, which is just going to be an agent inside Telegram.